The Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, says nearly 1 in 5 children qualify as obese. But among the autism population, it is far more common. A study from the Center for Child and Adolescent Health Research and Policy shows children and young adults with autism are twice as likely to be overweight and nearly 5 times more likely to be obese than their neurotypical peers. It is connected in large part to lifestyle choices, diet and exercise. We all deal with it, and it is not easy, especially for a person on the autism spectrum.
Put your shoulders back. And a lot of times the kids get older, become young adults, and there just isn't the same opportunities for them to be fit. We see a big association between people who are overweight, lack of exercise, health conditions that are higher in the population of people on the spectrum and people with disabilities in general. Legs, arms, legs.
Ben comes to this gym ready to put in some work and see the reward.
I have to motivate myself. I feel like I'm stronger. I almost look famous after I do that.
You're doing great, Ben.
How much longer will we be here for?
Ben often asks if he's all done. After all, exercise can feel uncomfortable. That's the point, though, to challenge your body. But to a person on the spectrum, it's hard to embrace that strain.
They may not see the benefit. So for them to get up and go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, if it's not something that they enjoy or it hasn't been put into a package where they can actually independently do it, they're just not going to do it.
So Peggy Mills decided to do some hard work herself. She left her teaching job in Dublin to open UFIT, a gym which specifically serves people with developmental disabilities.
We don't just accommodate people with disabilities, we cater to them. All right, one more.
Someone carry.
The clients pick their own visual schedule of exercises and learn how to motivate themselves.
Having the authority figure tell him to do something makes it a lot easier for the parent to do the reinforcement.
Unhealthy weight can stem from unhealthy, repetitive diet choices. Many people with autism develop patterns with food, unable to expand their palate, concentrating on high-calorie foods, lacking in vegetables and whole grains. Those children stand far more likely to show signs of type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and fatty liver disease.
And I don't think I've met a kid yet whose picky diet is about the green vegetables.
Dr. Jane Hamill-Lambert works as a clinical child psychologist at Nationwide Children's Hospital's Autism Clinic. She focuses on children and young adults who struggle with rigid diets.
I think we get a distorted understanding of how much food a kid needs. It could be visual cues, like it could be like shrink the plate. Shrink the plate and put the food on it. Create the visual checklist chart that says, I've said the phrase one and done to some kids I work with. Dinner's got to be a one and done.
Other studies show many people with autism endure sleep pattern problems and gastrointestinal disorders, and it all supports the idea that physical health supports emotional health and developmental function.
Families have to believe it matters. I think that's one thing I try to work with families on, that there's real risk to continuing to have this much extra weight traveling with your kid.
The parents, the caregivers, the schools, the day programs, all of those people have to work together.
Now we're done.
Tired?